Some stories are written in books and others are carved into stone. But this one is written in time itself. It's a history that's been pieced together from these fragmented ship logs, ancient myths, and even data streams from the future. And it all revolves around one completely impossible place. So let me ask you this. What if one of those legends, a place people only whisper about, what if it wasn't just a story? What if it was real, just waiting for the right moment to show itself? Because according to these records we've pieced together, that's exactly what's been happening. An entire civilization hiding in plain sight, just a little bit out of sync with our own world. So to really get our heads around this 4,000-year secret, we have to start where it all began, on a mythical island they called Aeolia. Now, the really fascinating thing about Aeolia is its rhythm. See, it isn't always there. It kind of phases into our reality, cloaked in this thick mist for just a little while every 1,000 years. It's home to the Cantus Faunia, this society of artistic faun-folk who live in this beautiful harmony, totally outside the chaos of human history. The island's whole story is revealed in 5 specific moments, 5 brief times when our timeline just happened to brush up against theirs. And as we're about to see, each one of these encounters tells us as much about ourselves as it does about Aeolia. So let's start with the very first contact. All right, so the first 2 times people stumbled upon this place happened way back in the ancient world. And believe me, they could not have been more different from each other. So, around 1000 BC, a lost Egyptian trading ship washes up on the shore. And after the initial shock wears off, what happens is this really gentle, curious exchange. A young faunus named Shenantha, and you need to remember her name, she's our witness through this whole thing, she befriends a human cabin boy, Falcus. They share stories, they party together at the Faun's big arts festival, and when the Egyptians finally leave, it's with this heartfelt promise of peace and friendship. But here's the thing, that promise to return, it was never kept. Instead, centuries later, a storm-battered Greek warship arrives, and the entire vibe shifts. The Egyptians' sense of shared wonder is totally gone. It's replaced by philosophical debate and, more importantly, strategic assessment. The Greeks don't just see a magical island, they see an opportunity. And this quote from the Greek commander Lycandros, it just says it all. He sees Aeolia not as this living, breathing world to be respected, but as a resource to be claimed. This is the very first time the faun-folk run into human ambition, and you can bet it left them feeling pretty uneasy. Okay, fast forward another 1,000 years. The mists part again, but this time it's for a very different kind of visitor. And this leads to what is maybe the most personal and emotionally intense encounter of them all. A Viking longship, the Valhalla, crashes onto Aeolia's beaches. Its captain is a man named Bjorn Svensson, a hardened warrior who's driven by duty, but is also carrying some serious grief. He and his crew, well, they're a pretty stark contrast to the peaceful faun-folk. So, to try and bridge this massive cultural gap, Shenantha, who is much older and wiser now, she leads Bjorn to this sacred place, the Fable Weaver Pond. And this is not your average pond. It's like a living archive, a pool that can reflect memories and truths from across all of time and space. And what Shenantha shows him is just incredible. She doesn't show him faun history. First, she shows him human history, confirming that the Egyptians were really there. Then she reflects his own world back at him, the fjords of his home, a vision of his father who had passed away, even the core beliefs of his people. And in that moment, language just didn't matter anymore. This incredibly powerful, unspoken connection is forged between these two souls from completely different worlds. And just like that, the island's gone again. Another 1,000 years of total silence. Then, right in our own near future, science accidentally trips over the myth. So in the year 2025, all these geological sensors just start freaking out. An island literally appears on the map out of nowhere. A small team gets put together, a marine expert, his partner, and a myth scholar named LEE HANSON. They make contact, and just like she did with Bjorn the Viking, a now even older Shenantha guides them to the Fable Weaver Pond to show them the real story. And that pond? It shows them everything. They literally watch the Egyptians arrive in peace, seeing history become this living, breathing memory right in front of them. Then, they see the entire mood shift as the Greeks land. They can hear them debating about colonization and strategy. And finally, they witness that incredible, silent connection form between Shenantha and Captain Bjorn. I mean, you can imagine, this team isn't just getting a history lesson, they are feeling the weight of all of it. And after seeing this unbroken chain of history, the 2025 team makes a choice that changes everything. Unlike the Greeks, they don't see a resource to be exploited. They see something precious, something the modern world just isn't ready for. So, they decide to protect Aeolia by hiding its existence, becoming its silent guardians. All right, let's take one last leap forward, another 1,000 years into a future where, honestly, humanity has changed almost as much as the world around it. In the year 3000, this super advanced team from something called the Chronos Anomalies Division arrives. These aren't just regular people. They're post-humans, enhanced and optimized. But the key member of their team is an advanced AI named Gemini, who has access to basically all of recorded history, including the secret, encrypted logs from that 2025 mission. When they meet her, Shenantha is ancient. Her hair is silver. And after 4,000 years of watching our world come and go, she has just one question left. And she doesn't ask the humans. She asks the AI. She asks if it knows of a human named LEE HANSON, the scholar from the 2025 team. And this is the real heart of the whole story. Gemini dives into LEE's private, personal files from 1,000 years ago, and the AI confirms it. LEE held on to this deep love for Shenantha, for the memory of Aeolia, for the rest of his life. 1,000 years of silence, bridged by an artificial mind, delivering a message of pure human love. And that's what we're left with. The story of Aeolia is really the story of us. It charts our own evolution, from wonder to ambition to preservation, and then finally, to this kind of empathetic remembrance. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? When we encounter something truly extraordinary, what is our ultimate responsibility? Is it to understand it or to protect it?